Welcome back to KCBD Sports Extra. I'm Justin Margolis, and I'm joined here this week by the Littlefield Wildcats, this week's KCBD End Zone Team of the Week. I'll talk to head coach Bo Bryant and a couple of the players up next. Coach, 6-0 start. I know that you've been with this program for so many years, been under so many coaches, and now you've taken over the last couple of years. You said a couple of years back during an interview that you wanted to bring this team back to the consistency you knew it belonged at. How does it feel to kind of be moving in that direction now?
Yeah, it feels good. You know, this Littlefield's got a lot of tradition, and then we had a dry spell for a few years, but they've had a lot of good coaches, a lot of good players through the years. I got to be under Coach Husman, Coach Green, and Coach Thomas, and learned a lot from those guys. And we just try to get our players here to play with great heart, you know, play as hard as they can. And it's not just through football season. You know, these guys work hard through the off season. I think that's really what sets us up to have the success.
And one of the things that a coaching staff has to work on, I know, is when you have this type of early success, it's trying to continue that throughout the season, riding the highs, riding the lows. You know it's not going to be the same all the time. What are you kind of telling these guys as you go throughout this season just to stay focused on a week-to-week basis?
Yeah, we talk about it all the time. You know, the games we want to win are the district games, those late in the year, games in the playoffs. You know, that's really our goal. These first 6 have just been try to get better every single week. Focus on ourselves every single week just to make us better, and these guys have done a great job of that, I think, getting better every week.
This game this past week against Coahoma, you knew it was going to be a tough battle. How did it feel to kind of control the game for most of the stages? I mean, I was there for the whole first half into the third quarter. You guys controlled the football for the most part, caused some turnovers here and there, and really had the lead for most of this ball game. How did it feel to kind of control it throughout?
Yeah, it was nice. You know, I thought our kids came out and played well. I thought we were the more physical team. We knew it was going to be a battle. Coahoma's a good team, you know, and so we kind of going in, talked to them about it's going to be like a playoff atmosphere. You know, it's a playoff caliber team, and our kids were focused. Like I said, I think we controlled the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, and I thought we executed really well.
Riding this momentum now, you're heading into your district play now. How important is it just to keep the same intensity? I know it doesn't really take much to get these guys up and ready for a district game, but how important is it going to be just to stay laser focused on the task at hand when you take on a district team next week?
Yeah, it's going to be huge. You know, especially the last few weeks, we've gotten hot starts in our games, and we've let the other teams come back into it. And we really talk about our mental focus through the game and holding on to that mental focus, and that's going to be huge, you know, the next 4 games, because it's going to be tough every single week. Every team in district's going to be good. Going
into that district matchup now, Slayton, you know they're a hard-nosed football team that's physical. What do you see from that matchup, and what do you want to see from your players?
Yeah, it's going to be tough. You know, those guys are doing the old Littlefield stuff that we used to run, the slot eye and the 50, and some of those guys coached in Littlefield, played in Littlefield, so it's a special matchup. It's kind of weird facing the old stuff we used to do, but we know they're going to be physical. We know they're going to try to run the ball at us, and it's going to be a tough battle. And so we just got to prepare well this week, prepare every single day, and we got to be ready to go Friday night.
Coach, thanks for taking the time.
All right, thank you.
All right, Zane, 6-0. You guys are the team of the week. Littlefield moving in the right direction. A lot of excitement within this team. How does it feel to get off to this start?
It feels good. Being 6-0 is a big thing to do. These boys work their heart off every single week. They get prepared every single week to play these teams. We have a good non-district season. We got a good district. It's going to be a hard every single week, and I know these boys are going to do it.
Coahoma, you knew it was going to be a tough challenge. You guys get the 2-touchdown win. On offense, what was working for you guys throughout the week? Obviously, you had the touchdown in that game as well. What was working for you guys so well?
More of the passing in the first half, and then they put out more players in the out, so we started running the ball through their throat, and it was working. So yes.
You guys run a very fast-paced offense. I'm sure the conditioning in the summer is hefty because you guys are right on the ball quicker than I can even hold my camera up fast enough to get to the next play. How important was the offseason just getting ready to run such a fast-paced offense and be so quick to the football?
It's really good. We run tempo really fast. We run a lot. We play with Wildcat speed and violence a lot, and yes.
How did it feel? Because I know you guys are at the base trying to run the football effectively to establish the line of scrimmage, but to have the passing attack that you had this past week, to kind of get that going in the right direction. How good did that feel just to hit on so many deep passes down the field for touchdowns?
It felt really good. We know we can catch that ball up in the air. We got really good receivers out there, and we just know that when we get past them, we're going to catch that ball and make a touchdown.
District's play is starting next week. You're playing Slayton. How big of a game is that going to be for you guys as you start district play out?
That's going to be a real good game. They're a tough team. We're a tough team. I know we're going to go out there and try to do our best and see how it goes.
All right, Uriel, you knew defensively that Coahoma was going to be a challenge. One of the things that I noticed from that game early on, you guys were really gap disciplined, knowing that their quarterback was going to try to fake the handoff maybe here and there, and you guys were on top of it pretty early. What was kind of the thought process going into that game, and why were you guys so effective at tackling?
Yes, sir. You know, it all starts with a line. We got to make sure we contain and get through our gaps. We got to be physical and know what we're doing. Our secondary, they got to know what they're doing. Even when they run, they can just pass it. So they got to stay on top of their game 24/7 and just play physical and be mentally locked in.
A game like this and the start that you guys have had, how much confidence does that give you guys moving through the rest of the year?
Oh yeah, you know, you're definitely gonna have confidence, and the thing is that we have that confidence, but we stay disciplined and look for getting better and wanting more.
And you're talking about wanting more. There's always things to improve on. What are some of the main things that you guys want to improve on defensively as you kind of head into this district schedule now?
I would say probably our run game. You know, Slayton's a real run-heavy offense, so it's going to be a tough battle and trying to get the gap filled up, and whenever we least expect it, they could go out for a pass and get a touchdown. So we got to be mentally locked in.
Just the crowd in general, defensively, I know that brings you guys so much energy. How important have they been for your guys' success?
Yeah, in game it's really important. You can really feel it on the field when you make a big play. It's important that you don't feel like it's not for naught. You feel like you made a big stop, and it just gets that adrenaline going and wanting to do more.
And you touched on Slayton. You know how physical this team's going to run the football a lot down your throat, try to just eke out yard after yard after yard. What's going to be the most important thing for you guys coming into this matchup?
Just make sure we're disciplined and don't shoot ourselves in the foot.
The Littlefield Wildcats are this week's End Zone Team of the Week after a 6-0 start to the 2025 season. Up next, they host the Slayton Tigers with that game set for Friday night at 7 p.m. Stick around. We'll have more KCBD Sports Extra when we come back.